Hi guys, you're welcome back to my channel. This is Ajulam once again. Thank you for stopping by, and if this is your first time of checking out my channel, please do subscribe and click on the bell icon so that you get to know anytime I upload a new video. So for today's tutorial, I'm going to show you how to draft an off-shoulder bodice pattern for girls. So if you're interested, let's move on. 3 years old measurement here to do that. Okay, as you can see, the shoulder is 9 inches, the chest is 22 inches, the waist is 21, the armhole, half of the armhole is 3.5, the neck width is 2.25, the neck depth is 2.25 as well, and the bodice length is 9. Okay, so now as you can see, I always advise for you to have a line as a guide. So from here now, I'll mark out the bodice, which is 9 inches. So this is 9 inches here. This is 9 inches. I'll connect it to a straight line. Okay, so now the shoulder is 9 inches. I'm repeating this. I want to use the basic bodice pattern. I want to start from there so that you know exactly how to do this, because for me, I think this is the easy way of going about this, especially for a beginner. So this is 4.5, which is half of the 9 inches for the shoulder. Okay, so here is 4.5. Then I'll come down by 1/2 inch, which is the shoulder slope. Okay, so the neck width is 2.25, which is here. 2.25 is here. Okay, the neck depth is same, which is 2.25 as well. Okay, so I'll connect it to this point. So now here I'll connect it to this point as well. Okay, from here now I will insert the armhole, which is 3.5. So this is a 3.5 here. Okay, and this is the shoulder measurement. I will insert it here as well. Then I'll connect it. Okay, if you check out my previous video, you will see how to go about this as well. Okay, so this is it. Now this is the chest line. So here I'll put in the chest measurement, which is 22 inches. 22 inches divided by 4 is 5.5. This is 5.5 here. Okay, so here is up to you. If you like, you can use 1/2 inch for your seam, or you use 1 inch, but I prefer 1 inch to be on the safe side for your seam allowance. This is 1 inch. Okay, so here I'll check what I have, which is 3.5. Half of that. Okay, so this is half of that. I'll just mark that point, which is here, and I will come in by 3/4 inch, which is here. Okay, so I will now connect it to this point. Alright, so this is it. Now the waist is 21 inches. 21 divided by 4 is 5.25, which is here, plus 1 inch for my seam. I'll connect. So now the main point here is to draft out an off shoulder. That is why I just did this, so that you will know exactly the easy way to go about this. Now, as you can see, the neck depth that we used is 2¼ which is here. Okay, you can also maintain this 2¼ if you don't want the off shoulder to be that open. Okay, but for me I'll be adding another quarter to it, making it 2½ because I really want the off shoulder to be open. So I'll mark out the 2½ all the way down to this point. So this is it. Now I'll connect it to a straight line. Okay, so now here now I will just come in from this point. I will just come in by 1 inch. Okay, so you can just trace it and join it to this point here. Okay, and this is it. So here I will just come down by 1/4. That is if you want to give it, anyway, it depends on the design or the style you're trying to make for the baby. Here I can just come down by 1/4 inch again to give it that slight curve like this. Okay, so this is it. So all this side now is no longer needed, but if you're making a yoke, you can just cut it out and use this side now as the yoke. All you have to do is to make sure that you add your seam allowance all the way down. Okay, so now this is what I have left. Okay, this is 6½. Remember that I've not added my seam. Okay, so when you cut it out like this now, all you have to do is just to add 1/2 inch all round, aside from this area because I've added the seam already. So you just add 1/2 inch this area, 1/2 inch here and 1/2 inch here, all for the seam allowance. So as you can see, it's a very simple thing to do. Okay, so let me just cut it out and I will show you how to do the back side as well. So this is what I have. As you can see, it's very simple. Okay, so now what you need to do when you're cutting it on your main fabric, just add in, like I said earlier, your 1/2 inch for the seam. Okay, to just this point, and 1/2 inch on this down area in case you're making a ball gown and you need to join the down parts. You just add in your 1/2 inch for the seam allowance. Okay, so for the back pattern, let me show you how to do that as well. So for the back pattern, all I have to do is to insert my 1 inch for zipper allowance. So this is it, 1 inch, 1 inch. Okay, so I'll connect it. So now I'll take my front pattern and place it over like this. Okay, you can also pin it. Let me just do that. So as you can see, I've pinned it all around. Okay, so now all I have to do is just to cut it out exactly like this. Okay, well, for the back, you can, like I said earlier, it depends on the style or the design you're trying to make for the girl. You can make the down to be very the back to be very open. It depends on what you're doing. So now I'll just cut it out like this. Then I'll just make a little adjustment for the back pattern here. Let me just cut it out first. Okay, so this is it. I will now, here now I will just come up by 1/4 inch here, because the front and the back is not always the same. Okay, so because of that little curve at the back, I'll just come up by 1/4 inch, which is here. Okay, and I'll just take it straight to this point. If you watch my video on how to draft basic bodice pattern for baby girl, you'll see more of this. So I will just connect, making sure it will join to this point, so that by the time you join the front and the back together, it will fit. The front will not be longer than the back, so I'll just cut. Okay, so this is it. All you have to do when you're cutting it out on your fabric, make sure you add your necessary seam allowance aside from this area, because I've added that already. Okay, so that is it. This is the back and this is the front. No matter the age you're trying to make, just follow the same way I just showed you. Add your 1 inch on that armhole. That is all you need, and you'll get it right. So that is it for today. Please subscribe to my channel and don't forget to turn on the bell icon, so that you get to know anytime I put up a new video. So guys, I'll see you on the next one.